Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us today on this car. 90 Corvette ZR1, king of the hill. At its time was arguably the world's fastest car at the time. I don't know what else to say about it. How cool is it that you sub out building this 32 valve, 400 horsepower engine to a Mercury Marine so that they can build it right, because those guys there knew how to build something that could last, make great power, and could make very few of them without having to spend billions on tooling and things like that. So as we walk around this car, there's a couple neat features about it, and there's some upgrades on the car. The upgrades on the car I think are awesome. For the purist, you're going to say, well, this is not exactly how it rolled off the showroom floor. Well, the good news is anything that's been done to this car can be returned back to stock, which is really nice. So anyway, so the ZR1s, a lot of people don't know, are a little wider in the rear, okay, than the regular Corvette. It's hard to really kind of tell, but they are bigger, and the way you can kind of tell too is see how these fit inside just like every other Corvette, but look how much depth you have in here. The regular Corvettes would have been just flat right here. So you can see that the wheel is out an extra 2 inches on each side. This has an upgraded braking system on it. These huge Baer brakes, 6-piston calipers, 2-piece rotors. This thing is serious when it comes to braking. I mean, they are monsters, and they grip. And with these giant Eagle F1 tires on here, the handling of the braking is amazing. Because this has had some modifications also internally of the engine. So the intake manifold and plenum have been polished. It has long tube headers, free flow polished exhaust all the way back. It sounds wicked, but we've picked up a lot of power. So it's been dyno'd at about 385 at the rear wheels, is what the owner told us. And if you equate that into an engine horsepower like every other car is, you can typically add 15% to that. That puts us in the 440, 450 horsepower range, which is a lot of juice for a car that weighs right around 3,300 pounds. So anyway, let's keep on rolling around because it just keeps getting better. So great paint still on the car. Now, this car has 45,000, let's just say 45,000 original miles on it. It's got a clean Carfax. It's got great paint still on it. It's really held up well. It was clearly somebody's second or third car, and that person cared for this thing a lot, because the interior, although the exterior is really, really nice, the interior is exceptional. Also, by the way, this is the optional glass top here. It's actually polycarbonate, but it comes off. And it has a storage place in the back, so you get that whole kind of convertible look with the safety of the roll bar here. All right, glass hatch pops open, but you know what? As we talk and talk and talk, the real view is under here. A lot of people have heard about the ZR1, and even in 2011 now they're making another ZR1, and that car's an additional $50,000 over the price of a regular Corvette. It's roughly double the price. This car here was almost double the price too of a regular Corvette. Check this thing out. Look at this motor, man. 4-cam, 32 valves. We still don't get a 32 valve Corvette engine. It's 2011, there's still push rods and things like that. This is quad cam, 32 valve, special purpose built for these cars. These were very expensive engines for GM to build. I believe that the word on the street was they were costing them somewhere around $25,000 a piece for these engines, not counting all the millions and millions of research and development it took to get everything for the intake, for the fuel injection system, stuff like that. Oil filter is easy to get to. Look at that right there. Oil fill, power steering is right here. This car has all the amenities too, like 4-wheel power disc brakes, power steering, power windows, climate control, air conditioning. This has the sport seats in it. It has like 15,000 positions you can get these seats into, including lumbar, the sides move, the top moves, everything. Just an amazing piece of technology, especially since it's 1990 and we're in 2011. This car's 20 years old and it's still wicked, wicked fast. So let's keep rolling around the car for a minute. I believe this car has probably been wet sanded and buffed, which is really nice. It's the extra step somebody's gone to do. And look at how crystal clear that is. Look how nice you can see that. That's what you should be seeing when you're buying a car. Paint like that. All right, let's take a walk around the back for a second. ZR1's a little wider in the rear, as we talked about. You can kind of see it's a little bit bigger. You get this nice call out here. You have your choice. You can either leave it on, let everybody know that's what it is, or take it off so they don't know what just happened to them when you spank them on by. Great looking exhaust, and when I start it, man, it just sounds so good. I want to talk a little bit about the storage back here because although it's a sports car, it's a fairly functional sports car because you can get into all the stuff in here. Check this out. This is nice. You can actually load it up with some items if you wanted. But look how clean it is back here. This is the original Delco Bose Gold sound system. It was a top-of-line sound system for its time. Storage in here. The tie-down straps in case you want to put the top. And this right here are the slots for the lift-off roof panel. So it slips right in here. This is the pin that locks it in place so it won't move around, and you still have room underneath for luggage and storage. It's just exceptionally clean inside this car, man. Wait till we get inside. You're gonna wow. Gas door here, kind of stock, like all. Check this out. All right, so here's where we're talking about the seats outside for a little bit. Look how beautiful they are. They were top of line. These seats right here, very expensive, somewhere in the tune of $3,000 a piece, even though they're factory seats. They have a million adjustments. Look at these. The wings are even motorized. Recline. Then you have lumbar here, and then you can let the air out. So you pick where you want the lumbar in each one of those positions. It has power. Okay. Then you have your ride control here, and it was very ahead of its time with the ride control here because it's electronic, and it was with fluid dampening, and it would send an electrical charge into the dampeners to firm up the fluid in there to make it a little bit stiffer. And then you can have performance, sport, and touring. Touring rides like I don't want to say like a Cadillac, but it rides really, really nice. And performance is pretty stiff. So you may like it right in the middle of sport, but if you're headed out on back road, click it on the performance, you'll totally notice a difference. Okay, this is a cool feature here. Check this out. Come on over here, Justin, so we can see this key. This key right here is the Ballet Key, all right? So you can have it either on normal or full, and tells you it's got full engine power. What you might do is leave it on normal and take the key with you, okay? That way you only get a little bit of the horsepower. The valet can't kill your car, or your kid if he takes the car, steals it, nothing happens to it. But when you're in the car, you want it on full and you can get every last horsepower out of it. We talked about the top-of-the-line sound system, the climate control, heating and air conditioning, and to talk about a full set of gauges, man, this thing has every gauge for everything you could possibly imagine. From an 8,000 RPM tach, now keep in mind too, the red line is right around 7,000 RPMs. And for compared to the 5,500 or 5,800 on the regular pushrod V8, this is a screamer. 45,725 miles. Full gauges on there that we talked about, from oil pressure, oil temperature, water temperature, volts. Lights are here, power mirrors, driving lights, all that stuff. 6-speed. I mean, it's a nice luxury car too. So the seats have so many adjustments. This is pretty awesome, man. I got to tell you. If you haven't ever been in one of these, this car is so ahead of its time and so much performance for the money. You cannot buy a more performance-oriented car than this car is right now. 4-wheel independent suspension, limited slip rear, these giant brakes, the exhaust, all that stuff. Enough of my rambling. How about I start it for you? You even get a glove box with an owner's manual. Anyway, how about I start it for you, because this mother does sound good. Close up a car like this, we have the original window sticker, we have the build sheet of this car, we have history, we have the upgrades that are on it that are easily made to go back if you wanted to. But at the end of the day, you're talking about 45,725 mile exotic car. Hand-built motors, 6-speed transmissions, wicked fast. Just a great, great car. I know it sounds like I'm a little excited about it. It's only because I am, because you talk about a sleeper, man. It just looks like a regular Corvette to the untrained eye, but it's so fast and so powerful and handles so well. These cars were able to pull almost a 1G on the skid pad. So anyway, find a way to get this one, man. It is it's a once-in-a-lifetime low-mileage car that doesn't cost a gazillion bucks, and you should have a lot of fun with it. Call us 301-816-1000 and we'll tell you all about it.